time in office, the public gallery of the court was filled with supporters from the Ijaw community who had flown in specifically. Alisi Madueke denied multiple charges relating to alleged misconduct while overseeing Nigeria's oil and gas sector, but prosecutors claim he received cash and luxury benefits in exchange for influence over energy contracts. Staying with judicial matters, the High Court in Nasarawa State has sentenced an armed robbery convict, Saidu Idi, to death by hanging over the killing of Ado Adamu Buli, a resident of Kokona local government area, in an incident that occurred in 2015. The death sentence was handed down by the Chief Judge of Nasarawa State, Justice Aisha Usman, after the court found the defendant guilty of armed robbery and culpable homicide, punishable by death. Speaking shortly after the judgment, the Nasarawa State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Isaac Danladi, confirmed that the case, which had lingered for years, bordered on criminal conspiracy, armed robbery, and culpable homicide under the relevant laws of the Federation. According to Danladi, the court discharged the convict on the count of criminal conspiracy, but found him guilty on the remaining counts. He described the ruling as a clear demonstration that justice can be served without fear or favor, stressing that the judgment would serve as a strong deterrent to violent crime across Nasarawa State. Justice Emmanuel Subilim of the National Industrial Court has issued an interim order restraining the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Trade Union Congress, TUC, and 3 others from embarking on any form of industrial action or protest, ruling on an ex parte application filed by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and the FCT administration. Justice Subilim granted an interim order restraining the 1st to 5th respondents and their privies or agents from embarking on strike pending the hearing of a motion on notice. He also ordered the 5th to 9th defendants who are security agencies to ensure no breakdown of law and order. The ex parte motion, which was filed by counsel to Wike and the FCTA, Ogu Onoja, submitted that the chairman of the FCT Council had sent a message of mobilization to members and affiliated unions for a mass protest scheduled for tomorrow. Onoja, however, noted that the move is in violation of the orders of court. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Command of the Nigeria Police Force has called on the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, FCT Council to reconsider and reschedule its planned peaceful protest scheduled for tomorrow, citing security concerns within the Federal Capital City. The protest, which is expected to hold within the Federal Capital Territory, which was organized by the NLC in support of a joint Union Action Committee, whose members are currently observing an indefinite strike over unresolved labor disputes with the Federal Capital Territory Administration. The appeal from the police followed a mobilization notice issued earlier by the leadership of the NLC FCT Council, directing affiliate unions to converge on the Labour House as early as 7 a.m. ahead of the demonstration. In a statement released on Monday, the police public relations officer for the FCT Command, SP Josephine Ade, disclosed that the Commissioner of Police, Mila Dentawaye, acknowledged the constitutional right of citizens to peaceful assembly, but warned of credible intelligence suggesting that the protest could be infiltrated and hijacked by the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria and other non-state actors. This development comes against the backdrop of an ongoing industrial dispute involving workers of the FCTA and the Federal Capital Development Authority operating under the JUAC platform. The workers commenced an indefinite strike on January 19, 2026 over the alleged failure of authorities to pay outstanding promotion arrears and other entitlements. Residents of Olojabala, a community in Atakumosa West Local Government area of Osun State, have called on Governor Ademola Adeleke to help curb the activities of alleged illegal miners in the area. During a protest to the premises of Rave 91.7 FM and Western Spring Television today, the residents said the actions have led to displacement and insecurity in the community. Speaking in separate interviews, community members Ademola Razak and Lamin Yusafiu appealed to the state governor and the members of the Osun State House of Assembly to help resolve the situation. On their part, Mrs. Latifat Yakini and the youth leader in the town, Matthew Oluwafisayo, said illegal mining activities in Olojabala have made the community unsafe while constituting a threat to the health and livelihood of residents. According to the United Nations, illegal mining is a rapidly expanding criminal activity linked to organized crime, severe ecological destruction, and human rights abuses.
It was a rumor at first, but when we got there on that very particular day, we saw that the population of those people that are there carrying out the illegal minings are up to maybe like 200 or maybe 150 totals in numbers. And later after that time, we held a meeting in our community, selected like 2 or 3 people to go there. And people have been coward. They are afraid of going down to that particular premises. But fortunately for us, we saw like 2 or 3 officers, of which they had to go down to that particular place with some peoples. But on getting there also, with the phobias they are having, when they saw the peoples with the ammunition they are having at their hands, it's another thing entirely. And also, if I could remember vividly, some times ago, we had something that came up in which one of the young ladies in our community was raped, and we never knew till this particular moment who actually did such a kind of bad things to that particular ladies. And there are so many kind of things in which we won't just opening our eyes to let this happen to the peoples of our community. This is an environment in which majority of the foods in which we are consuming in Osun State presently is being bring out to the market. And if this kind of activities is being going on, I think there will be a phobia for the farmers to go to their farms to perform their daily tasks, and this will cause a lot of damages and a lot of problems to the citizen of Osun State. So we are using these particular mediums to talk or to appeal to the governor of the state to help us look into this matter, so it won't go out of hand. We have known him as the best governor so far. He has been performing wonderfully well to the citizen of Osun. And as far as the election is around the corner, we strongly believe that it might be another things in which the government is not even aware of. So we are urging the government and the legislative and those people, the ESCOs in which the government that are working with the governments to help us look into these issues, because it has gotten to a stage also whereby when you fetch the water, the well is not even bringing out a good and pure water again. The people in the state, the people in Atakumosa West at Olojabala, we are not sleeping with our eyes being closed again any longer. So we hereby urge the government and every of the legislators to help us please comes to our aid towards the subject matter.
In other news, traders at the Onitsha main market have resumed business after a 1-week shutdown following directives from Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo. The reopening comes amid heightened security measures and warnings against compliance with the indigenous people of Biafra sit-at-home orders. The market was previously ordered closed by Soludo after reports suggested that some traders were following a Monday sit-at-home call issued by IPOB. According to reports, the governor had warned that failure to reopen could lead to further closures. IPOB had called for a lockdown across the southeast in solidarity with Onitsha traders, urging traders, transporters, banks, schools, and civil servants to observe the strike peacefully. Former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has criticized the federal government over what he described as fiscal recklessness in the management of Nigeria's national budgets. In a statement posted on his official X account on Monday, Obi questioned which budget Nigeria is currently operating ahead of expected approval of a 2026 national budget by the Senate on March 17. He noted that since 2023, Nigeria has been implementing budget items from multiple fiscal years simultaneously, describing the practice as abnormal and harmful to public finance management. According to Obi, President Bola Tinubu inherited a 21.83 trillion naira budget in 2023, but later introduced a 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget, which he said prioritized benefits for public office holders despite widespread economic hardship. He further stated that the pattern continued with the approval of 35.06 trillion for 2024 and 54.99 trillion naira for 2025, bringing total appropriations under the current administration to over 114 trillion naira in less than 3 years. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for increased support from the World Bank Group following Lagos' achievement as Nigeria's top-ranked state in the Ease of Doing Business report in 2025. According to a post from the governor's X handle on Monday, Sanwo-Olu stated this when he welcomed a delegation from the World Bank Group to Lagos House Marina. Sanwo-Olu highlighted Lagos' dramatic rise in the Ease of Doing Business ranking, saying the state moved from 29th place 4 years ago to first place last year. During the meeting, the governor discussed areas where Lagos can deepen collaboration with the World Bank, including energy, agriculture, tourism, and human capital development. Talking politics, the All Progressives Congress has hit back at the African Democratic Congress, ADC, accusing the opposition party of spreading falsehoods and running a disinformation campaign in response to what it described as a massive and unprecedented surge in APC membership registrations nationwide. In a press statement issued in Abuja on Monday, the ruling party said the ADC was terrified by massive APC membership registration in the ongoing electronic registration exercise and had resorted to allegations to undermine the process. The statement posted on X was signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Felix Morka, on Monday. The APC was reacting to claims attributed to the ADC that civil servants were being coerced to participate in the party's electronic registration exercise. Earlier on Sunday, the ADC described the alleged practice as unconstitutional, undemocratic, and a dangerous violation of the neutrality of a civil service. A former chief whip and member representing Dunukofia constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, Lawrence Ezeudu, has dumped the All Progressives Congress, APC. The former lawmaker, who is a supporter of a 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, defected to the African Democratic Congress, ADC. His decision was made known in a letter addressed to the ADC chairman of Ifite Dunu Ward 2, Dunukofia local government area of the state, Lawrence Akoba, explaining his decision to defect to the ADC in an interview with journalists. Ezeudu cited deepening crisis and poor leadership within the APC at both local government and state levels. Still to come, NMDPRA issues warning over viral fake recruitment process. We'll bring you more on this when we return.
James Ajibolaige was a lawyer who obtained his first degree in classics from Nigeria's premier University of Ibadan. Born September 13,